I'm theciaellis, and welcome to Grandma's Homestead. Okay, we got the noise again. The ice machine's going and the oven's not going, but that's because the other people are not here. We are having vacation Bible school this week, and I just got back into town from Florida visiting my dad, so I'm a little bit behind. But I told them I would make some potato salad tonight, and today I'm going to make basically two kinds of potato salad. One of them will be one that you can consider cooking from your pantry, and the other one, well, I guess it could be considered two different kinds of cooking from your pantry. If you want fresh potatoes, that could be considered from your pantry. But we're going to have like regular potato chunks, and we're also going to have potato flakes. And so let's look and see what we got going here. So I've got my potato flakes. I've already got them measured up. With the potato flakes, I'm going to use sweet relish. I usually use Miracle Whip, but they didn't have it at the store, so we're going to do mayo this time. I do Hidden Valley Ranch. We got some French's mustard, and I've got dill relish. Here's some boiled eggs I've already peeled. I've got yellow onion that I've already gotten chopped up and separated to the two different bowls. And then I've got my milk that I'm going to be putting in for the mashed potatoes here in just a few minutes. So we're getting things put together. My boiling potatoes are almost done, and this is going to be coming to a boil here in a minute for my mashed potatoes. So we got a mess going, but I believe it's going to be pretty good when we get done with it. My boiled potatoes are all nice and soft, and we're going to set them aside for a while and let them cool down. In fact, I probably will put them in the refrigerator here pretty soon so that they can cool down even further, but I don't want to put them right into the refrigerator right away until they're not at least steaming hot anyway. Alright, this water was boiling, and the butter is melted. Let's add the milk. And I have salted this. Now we're going to do the potato flakes. Because we've added milk to this one, this should cool down pretty easily, and we ought to be able to knock this particular batch of potato salad out. Alright, I think it's done enough. We can start adding stuff to it here in a few minutes. Alright, let's get this one put together. This is with the potato flakes. We'll get our onions in here. I've chopped up 5 boiled eggs, and we're going to put those in there. Now let's put this is a sweet relish this time. Alright, now let's remember that we are cooking and not baking. Baking is kind of a science where you have to pay attention and measure stuff. You don't necessarily with cooking. I don't know how much that is, but it looks like a good amount. Now mustard, even though it's good, we put minimal in it. Alright, let me rephrase that. I put minimal in it. You just need maybe a tablespoon or so, something like that. Should be enough. It's going to take a lot more mayonnaise, Miracle Whip, whatever it is that you got. Let's start with a cup or so of that. And part of the reason I don't know how to measure some of this, because I've never done potato flakes, and so I don't know how much it's going to take it to make it the right consistency. Then the same thing with ranch. You go, ranch? Who uses ranch? I do, and I'll tell you why. Because you can go through an awful lot of mustard, or not mustard, but mayonnaise in here, and it's got pretty decent flavor, but the spices and stuff of ranch dressing adds a nice kick. I put it in my deviled eggs too. It just makes it something that it changes the flavor a little bit, but it's nice. It's just a nice flavor that that's more than just mayonnaise. And I'm going to stir this up, and we'll give it a taste here in a minute. I've added a little bit more mustard and probably another half a cup of sweet relish, and we're stirring that in. Oh, and just a pinch more salt. It just needed a little bit more salt. So we'll stir this in and see what it looks like. I think I did the mustard more for looks, so the mashed potato was not so pale. Alright, let's give this a taste. Yeah, that's a lot better. Mix it up. There's no like mashed potato-y flavor in it. The mustard's got a good flavor to it. So this one's done. We'll put it in the refrigerator so it'll be nice and cool for the meal night. And let's get started on the other potato salad. All right, now we're moving on to the regular potatoes. Let's add our onion. And our eggs. I think I did 6 this time instead of 5. And we're doing dill relish instead of sweet relish. Our mayonnaise. Our mustard. Did 2 tablespoons that time. And let's get a good mess of ranch dressing. See how this comes together. Oh, except when you flip it all over the cabinet. Oh man. Let's try this again, see if we can do it without making a bigger mess. Now even with the chunks of potatoes in here, you still come up with a nice creamy potato salad. Now some people want, and I did have extra eggs should I choose to do that, but some people like to take their extra eggs and slice them up and make them pretty on top. This is for Vacation Bible School. Nobody here cares. They just want to eat when they come in. That looks pretty good. Let's see what we got. That's darn close. Maybe a touch more salt. All right, let's get this wrapped up and put it in the refrigerator. And then I believe we've got everything for them for the meal tonight. We're having pulled pork. That's going to be so good. All right, so that it gives you 2 different ways that you can make a really nice potato salad that you can have for whatever your picnics or whatever you're having for a meal tonight. She's having pulled pork sandwiches, and so these are going to be good. Like the ones that were made with the potatoes that were potato flakes, those had the sweet relish in them, and the ones that have the regular potatoes that I had chunked up and boiled, those have the dill relish in it. So I liked both of them. I'm kind of partial to dill relish, but this gives you an opportunity to choose different ones. You can call this a cooking from the pantry, because if you think about it, the mustard can come from the pantry. Now you have to refrigerate it once you open it, but the mustard, the mayonnaise, and or Miracle Whip, the dill relish, the sweet relish, the ranch dressing, all of that can come strictly out of your pantry. Obviously the potato flakes, and then in a different portion of your pantry you can have your regular potatoes. So I believe this is something that give you an opportunity to experiment with. Now if you notice, I just glopped in there. I've been doing this a long time. One thing you might want to consider is a balance, okay? Start light. If you don't know what you're doing, start light with something. Add half of what I did and taste it. Oh, it needs a little more mustard. Oh, it needs a little bit of mayonnaise and stuff. I mean, you don't have to go overboard and stuff, tasting every 2 minutes, but what you can do is you can you learn to get a feel for what is needed in a recipe as you go. Now, like I said, baking is a different thing. That is something that you have to pretty much follow the recipe that is put out there for you, because they've already done the measuring to know how something will rise, because you got to have a certain amount of sugar, you got to have a certain amount of flour, and a certain amount of liquids for them to all come together to bake. But with cooking, especially with salads, throw it in there, enjoy it, have a good time cooking. That's what I do. All right, that's all I got for you today, and I want to talk to you a little bit about. I finally come up with how I'm going to do some changes on my YouTube channel. It does not look like I'm going to be going back to a homestead anytime soon, but I can still call it Grandma's Homestead and continue this as a cooking channel, and I will do my very best to do all the best recipes for you, following not just regular stuff for like at the church and at home and all that other stuff, but I can be doing cooking from the pantry. Are you ready for the next Great Depression era type recipes and stuff. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to be focusing on with Grandma's Homestead. I have had another channel called This Grandma's Life Podcast, and I will still be doing podcasts on that channel, but I believe I'm going to go ahead and change the name to This Grandma's Life, because my future is way up in the air. I'm going to be facing a lot of choices in the future, and I still want to take you on this adventure with me. But I would encourage you to go to, at this time, This Grandma's Life podcast, or look up This Grandma's Life, because I'm going to be changing it pretty soon. And you can see all my previous podcasts and stuff. I just put another one up today. But I'm also going to be doing things like my trip to Florida that I just took, and probably kids camp that was from before that and stuff. So that's going to be my daily life. That's going to be more of a vlog along with podcasts, where Grandma's Homestead is now going to be just a cooking channel. I believe that's going to be the best way to go with this from here on out, and we will find out. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to both channels and help me get started, because we got a lot to work to do. All right, guys. Now remember, live until you die. We've all got our lives in front of us. Today is a new day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, and the life that you thought you were going to live may not be guaranteed either, but live it anyway. All right, God bless. I'll see you next time. Oh, except when you flip it all over the cabinet.